Hey, class of 1983, we've got another Go Knuckle Talk with Flo. And of course, my awesome co-host, Miss Lisa Hafner. I'm sorry, Lisa Nolan Hafner. My apologies. And oh, check out that shirt. I'm digging the shirt. Oh, well, Miss Lisa, that's pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and introduce our guest for tonight and what theme it is.
Yes. So the theme of tonight's podcast is anglers. So if you don't know what angler means, it's somebody who enjoys to fish. And we have some great guests tonight, and I'm going to introduce them by their maiden names. That way everybody remembers who they are. So we have Andrea Hayes, Leslie Miller, Derrik DeBerry, and B. Terrell. So let's bring them on. I'm so excited to visit with them. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hi, B. Hi, Leslie.
Hey, Mr. Terrell.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Castle.
How y'all
hey,
doing?
Leslie. We're doing well.
Awesome.
Hi, Derrik.
There's Mr. DeBerry.
How y'all doing?
Good.
Doing
Good.
Looking good as usual, Derrik.
Who's Thor?
I'm sorry. Oh, that's motorcycle racing.
Okay. Hi.
There's Miss Andrea.
Hello, guys. How are y'all?
Hey, Andrea.
Great.
Fine. Hello.
We're so excited.
So everyone, let's do a roll call. I live in Hempstead, Texas, which is northwest of Austin. Lisa,
I live in Dallas. I'm close to the Arboretum, so
Mr. Terrell.
in town.
Cool.
Me, I live
Mr. Terrell?
in Beaumont, Texas.
You're not too far. You're actually close
Leslie?
to Michael.
Is Leslie?
I live in Dickens, Texas.
Where is Dickens?
It's on the way to Wichita Falls after you leave Lubbock going east.
Okay.
So,
Mr.
yeah, going to Dallas.
DeBerry. I'm sorry.
Palestine, Texas.
That's cool.
Where?
Palestine.
Okay.
It's about an hour and a half, maybe northwest
Yeah.
of Houston.
Yes, and same from Dallas.
You know Jim Parsons,
Yep.
Jim Parsons Project.
the judge?
Oh, hey, we know Parsons, don't? Yes, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. I'm
Is
sorry,
that
I
right?
didn't mean to interrupt y'all.
That's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I knew I
Well,
heard
hey.
that name.
Great guy.
There's a lot of us will be a lot of interruptions. Miss Andrea, and you're at where?
I live in Fort Worth, up close to Eagle Mountain Lake. But
Eagle
Derrik, I'm in your part of the woods quite often.
But
I
you're
work in the gas industry, and I'm over in Marshall quite often.
Well, you should
Beautiful.
stop by.
I will.
Let me know when you're around and you can come visit. We'll throw a few lines out.
Right on, brother. Right on.
It's right here in the
see,
backyard.
I'm already digging this show. So, guys, this is our anglers, as Lisa mentioned. So let's get to the question. And if you guys can see, I got a couple of my lovely poles back here. And I know Derrik likes to do bass fish as well. What about you other three? What type of fish do you guys like to do? And why?
I fish salt water, usually trout and redfish in Sabine Lake because it's in my backyard right here.
You ever go out offshore?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I go offshore maybe 3 or 4 times a year, but I've got a boat right here on the deck. I just put it down and go, and I'm right there in Sabine Lake or at the jetties.
Right on.
Nice. There you go. That's the way to do it. What about you, Leslie? What type of fish do you like? Fishing you like to do, and
I
why?
like to fish for anything. I have fun saltwater, lakes mostly, but yeah, if I like to get out there and just try to catch whatever.
What's your
I
draw?
love catching striper is my favorite. They fight.
Absolutely.
That's a good upper body workout.
It is.
Oh, you might know she would say that.
Of
Oh,
course. I've got to incorporate exercise into everything. What about you, Derek?
Yeah, the same. Whatever's biting, mostly bass. I do a lot of trot lining, catfishing, crappie, whatever's biting, but not too much on the saltwater. I need to learn that. Go out one day on a charter and see what it's about.
yeah.
Hey,
Come
they
down.
have teeth, Derek. They have teeth. So that's one thing about the difference is they're bigger and they have teeth.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Andrew,
What about Miss Andrea?
Well, if it's freshwater, I like to fly fish the streams in Colorado and New Mexico. Probably my favorite is the Cimarron. But normally we go to Florida for 2 months every year because we can work from anywhere. And so we work from Jensen Beach and we fish saltwater out there. But wherever we
Wow.
go. But my favorite is probably marlin, wahoo. That's great when you get hooked up to those.
You're going offshore.
Yes, we go out to the continental shelf.
that's a lot of fun. I've done that once and it was a blast.
It is. But the fly fish is wonderful as well. It really is.
Andrew, is
That's
that hard
got-
to learn?
Because that's a lot of talent.
Is
I
fly
do-
fishing hard?
The captain is what makes or breaks the difference. It really is.
Absolutely.
Is fly
Well,
fishing hard? Is fly fishing hard to learn?
Hard to learn. For me, it was because it's all in, I'm sitting here like I'm fishing and I'm not. It's not in the wrist. It's all in the elbow and the shoulder. It's not a flick of the wrist. It's from the elbow down. So yeah, learn. But once you get it, you've got it forever, I think.
Wow.
I'm awful at it.
That's what's a salmon? What do you fish for when you fly fish?
Usually rainbow trout, brown trout, cutthroat, anything up that's swimming up in Colorado or New Mexico.
What about the bears? You ever encounter any bears?
We have not, but I have a rule.
Knock
I
on
have to
wood.
be fast one person in our party. So I always take a gun. So if I have to shoot you in the kneecap, I'll be faster than I will not really. Yes, it's very scary sometimes. Yes.
Well, hey, I need to bring this up. You guys noticed Lisa's shirt? Sean?
Nice.
Cool.
And I've got a cat
I love it.
that's covered up, but anyway, so go ahead, Lisa.
No, I was going to say that you ordered it for me. So I want to ask, so when did everybody start fishing? I started fishing when I was a kid because we used to go to Cimarron. My dad was from New Mexico. And so we spent every summer going to New Mexico and Colorado and Utah fishing, but we didn't learn to fly fish. And I loved it. It was peaceful and tranquil. So when did you start fishing and why, and what does it bring to you? Like for me, it was just being out in nature and tranquility. Even if I didn't catch anything, it was just being outside. There was something really peaceful and tranquil, and the challenge, especially with saltwater fish or going out on a big boat. So whoever wants to go first to answer that question.
I agree with it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Andrea.
I said, I agree with you on why I started. I didn't start really until my ex-husband used to take me, and I just loved it. He went all his life, so it was old hat to him, I guess. But I love being out in nature, and then going out on the ocean to fish is just amazing. But I didn't start fishing probably until I was 30 or 35.
Oh, wow.
What about you, B? I mean, when'd you take up fishing?
I started probably on farm ponds, when I was a little bitty. I fished. My dad didn't like it. He'd take me out there and leave me, but I always liked to fish in farm ponds. And my uncle had the very best catfish. Whenever I could drive out there and catch catfish ever cast. And then, I got down here and I started saltwater fishing. I probably hadn't fished seriously for anything but salt water in, 30 years. I'll go occasionally bass fishing, or I've got a place in Colorado. I go fly fishing occasionally, but I'm awful at it. And I just catch all my fish around here.
I assume you keep them and then eat them. Do you?
I couldn't hear what you said.
I
Do
said, do
eat
you
them
keep
or
your fish?
Catch and release, or do you eat them?
Oh, I eat them. Our limit's so small, they just cut the trout limit down to 3, but I keep them and eat them. Sometimes I'll throw the big ones back, if they're too big.
Okay. What about you, Leslie?
I grew up, my grandpa was a big fisherman. And so I grew up I was 6 years old at least, trolling around behind him, fishing in the Texas lakes everywhere. And he actually, he loved to fish so much, he practiced, casting in the backyard all the time. And he had a dog, a mixed breed dog, and he had a lure that without the hook, and he would throw it in the yard and the dog would grab it and he would wrestle that dog like he was actually reeling a fish in. And of course, he never could take the dog with him to the lake because it jumped in the water to get. But we grew up, fishing. I did bring pictures. I have a picture of me. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Oh, wow. That is
First
good.
big, I think I was like 6 years old or 7 on that picture, my first big fish. So yeah, I got addicted.
It was like
Nice.
1991.
Yeah.
What about you, Mr. DeBerry?
I started out with my dad, and I can remember going back so far as to having a rope tied around my belt loops so I couldn't fall in the water and watching them fish. I mean, little bitty. And I don't know, we'd fish up there around Bend, Texas on the Colorado River. I don't know if you guys remember, I posted a picture of Tim Samsel and I here a while back. I think we were probably about 9 or 10 up there. And that's a long ways to travel from Plainview. It's every bit of 8-hour drive. And we'd fished up there for years and years. And then we got this other place we started going to on the Trinity River. It's called Lock and Dam. And what it is, every year, about this time every year, late February, early March, those sand bass will come out of the Lake Livingston, and then they'll get into this, the dam part of it, and the wall comes in like, I don't know if you can see my hands, but the wall comes in like this and comes out, and those fish will get in there to rest from those rapids. And when it comes back out like this, you got your deep sea fishing rod, drop down about that far off the ground, which is, I don't know how deep, but and then 3 treble hooks about a foot apart. And when that line starts moving out, you jerk up and snag them. It's illegal now. I mean, you can't do it. It might have been illegal then, but now the game on up there looking like us, and so we cut that out here a while back. Forever and ever, we'd fish there, and Jimmy Bodeker went up there with me. I think the last 3 times we went.
Nice.
About 2,000 fish in about 2.5 days.
Good.
Hey.
Sand bass are fun to catch.
Yeah, they are. They're a lot of fun. You can throw out there with a bare hook and catch them. There's so many of them. But yeah, we stopped doing that years ago.
Derrik,
Well, I was just going to say, go
sorry.
ahead. I'm sorry. No, I was just going to say that.
Remember.
Go ahead. There's a bunch of us. This is going to happen. We're going to interrupt each other, but go ahead, Lisa. Go ahead.
I just think it's really wonderful that you've been friends with Tim since y'all were little boys.
Oh yes. We was in first grade together and played baseball together. I think our dad's Pee Wee League was Tim's dad was a coach. My father was a coach, and basically just grew up living in the same trailer park, growing up, and still been friends. He come down and visited. Oh, I guess that last year around this time he come up and visited.
That's awesome.
Well, I was 8, I think, when I went fishing with my dad. We didn't fish often, but That's the last time I remember I went because my girlfriend, my current girlfriend, she about 4 years, 3-4 years ago, said, "Hey, let's go fishing." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, and that's when I'm like, last time I was 8. I was an avid golfer. I mean, I played for 30 years, a lot of golf, and I'm like, okay, let's try it. So tried it, got hooked, watched a lot of YouTube on how to bass fish, got a couple of kayaks. So I mean, you need body water. I throw my kayak on there, and man, I spend 4-6 hours easily just fishing all day. And it's like, I usually catch and release, but it's just me in the body water out there. So, and there's a retention pond off of Highway 290 that has some big ones. I mean, big ones. So I'll be there quite a bit this summer. So, but anyway, I wanted to ask, what's that fish? What is it called? The catfish when you catch it with your hand? I mean, some of these crazy
Noodling.
southerners, yeah. Has any of you guys done that?
Noodling.
No,
Has
No.
anyone done that?
no,
I haven't.
no.
No.
I still put
Wow.
a glove on to take them off too. So
Yeah, I do too.
Well, I hear that, it's when you do that, I mean, there's a good chance you can put your hand when there's a snapping turtle too. I mean,
Yeah,
so,
no.
That's a fast way
but
to lose
anyway,
your
absolutely. So how often do you guys fish? I mean, Derrik, I see you and you see me, I fish quite a bit. What about you guys? How often do you guys fish, B?
At least twice a week. Sometimes, I mean, average twice a week from May till probably July, probably go 3 or 4 times a week. And then, I average about 2 times a week the rest of the year.
Oh, nice.
But it's right
What about
here.
you?
I mean, I can just walk
Right.
out the door and fish. Yeah.
Well, that makes it
And
convenient.
it's a bean lake, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a bay.
Now-
Louisiana calls lakes bays, and it's just a bay, and it's right on the border of Louisiana, Texas.
Now, what is that water called when it's salt and fresh? There's a name for it. Is that
Brackish.
the type of water?
Brackish.
Is that what you have?
No, we're straight salt water. Sometimes it gets
Okay.
brackish, if it rains a lot, or if you go up to the north end, it gets brackish, but we're just straight salt water here. And I
Okay.
either fish in the lake or I go to like the short rigs, 15 miles off. That's where I usually fish.
Okay. And Leslie, what about you?
I go fishing nearly every weekend if I get a chance and the weather's good and the wind's good. We have a place at
Where do you go?
Miller Creek by Monday, Texas, and then we have a son that lives at Corpus, and so I'm going to try to do more saltwater fishing. Just haven't had time to get down there with family stuff going on, but so yeah, we're not too far. We're about about a little over an hour from my house to go fishing at Miller Creek.
Leslie, I don't mean to interrupt here, but did you know my dad had a fishing spot up there in Darren?
Yes, I see Darren occasionally, and yeah, I know the spot. I know the people that bought your dad's place. That's really cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I knew that sounded Miller's Creek. Yeah,
Yeah. Did you ever fish there?
I did. I went a couple of times. I was working on a tugboat offshore, so I didn't get to meet up with them too much. So,
Oh, it's
I
getting
did
low
go a
right
couple
now. I hope it catches rain.
yeah, that's
But
neat.
that's where I catch the hybrids that are so fun to catch.
Yeah. Yes. Just trolling. You do troll.
We troll, we cast, we whatever. We do it all.
Cool. That's
So
neat.
yeah.
That's nice area right there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Andrea? How often
Most
do you
of my,
fish?
well, not as often as I'd like. My fishing is basically limited because of my job until August and September when we go offshore. If we'll go on Eagle Mountain Lake occasionally, but normally it's just offshore for us now. But I love it.
Okay.
When you go
Yeah.
off, where do you go?
Go.
We go out of Jensen Beach. It's out of Pirates Cove. It's into the Atlantic, of course. We don't, it's Jensen Beach. I'm sorry. Jensen Beach is on the Atlantic side, not on the Gulf side. So on the east, and it's a barrier island. So we head out of Pirates Cove and head out. It's probably about 45 minutes to an hour to the continental shelf, where the bigger mahi and the wahoo marlins. It's actually, Stewart is the sail fishing capital of the world.
Oh, wow.
So
Mm.
So,
my
Andrea,
grandson, pardon,
y'all own a boat or do y'all charter?
we charter.
Charter, okay.
Yes, I can't afford one of those. No way. No way.
Spendy. They are spendy.
They are
Mr.
very
DeBerry. What about you, Mr. DeBerry? How often do you go?
Every day.
Every day?
Every
At least,
day.
at least a little bit. Like I say, the lake's right in the backyard, so I'll take a break. This is where I work also. Right out the back.
Yeah, literally, he means after back. I mean, he's good. Takes what, maybe about 20 yards into your little lake. So
Yeah, 50 yards,
absolutely.
50 yards.
I try to go, and you eat yours as well, don't you? Catfish.
Yeah, well, not from here so much, but whenever we go out from here, we fish a lot. Lake Palestine, Trinity River south of 79, which they don't recommend it up towards Dallas, eating the fish. Lake Palestine, Lake Groesbeck, a lot of good fish come out of there. And we do eat them.
Well, oh no. See, I think I don't like fish. I like to fish.
Yeah.
I don't like to eat it.
Really?
I don't either. I don't either.
It's got fishy tank.
I'll eat it
Really?
occasionally.
I don't like that. Never have. Yeah,
Huh.
never have. My
Oh man,
girlfriend
I
loves
love it.
fish.
My wife won't eat a fish either.
Not even crappie?
So
Crappie.
nothing.
I think it's because I'm a Pisces. I am a fish. I don't want to eat fish.
About 15 years ago, I had a buddy. His dad came from Minnesota. He brought some walleye. He fried it. That's the only fish that I ever eaten, and it didn't taste like fish, and it was very good. But other than that, no, I would eat it at all. So
You never tried a triple tail. Eat a triple tail.
fish.
What, B? Hang on, B.
If
Was
he'll
that?
eat a triple tail, he'll change his mind.
I agree.
There's nothing better than triple tail.
Huh.
Well, I don't eat meat anymore. I don't eat meat anymore, B. But
Okay.
but what is a triple tail? That's okay. Does that have 3 tails? Obviously.
Yeah,
that's why
it's
it's called.
it's an ugly fish. They float upside down out in the ocean, and they get like under trash or under buoys and stuff like that. And it's almost like a sea bass.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a cousin to the sea bass, but they're delicious. They're great.
Wow.
How do you fix it?
I'd grill it. I soak it in zesty Italian dressing and put it on the grill.
Nice.
Fillet one side of it and soak it overnight and put it on the grill.
Skin on?
No, I just fillet it and I leave one side, the skin on one side of them, and I lay them on the grill, kind of like you do a redfish. If y'all know about redfish on the half shell, that's why I do it. I love them. They're great to eat.
I bet you're a damn good chef when it comes to fishing. Oh, fish. I bet you cook it so many different ways, as much as you've been fishing, man. As much as you've eaten it.
I do, but my wife doesn't like to eat it, and the kids are gone, so it's just the two of us. She doesn't like to eat it much.
Well, I'll tell you a quick story. Last year, my girlfriend and I went to New Orleans to hang out with Hector Guerra. He loves the fish as well. He likes to take his boat into the canals, I guess. And we went fished, and we kept catching the croakers, I think they're called.
Yeah.
They make that croaking noise.
Yeah.
I mean, we're fishing for trout, but we caught those, and then a sea catfish or salt catfish. I don't know what the hell they're called, but he says be careful with
Yeah,
those
hard
fish.
head.
And then I got
Hard head.
stung by
Yeah, that's a hard head, and croakers are what we use to catch trout. Yeah.
I got stung by this. I grabbed the catfish, and it I guess its fins stung me, and it hurt for like an hour. I'm like,
Wow.
from now on, I didn't touch it with my hands. I'll just get the pliers and just flip it off the hook. I'm like,
Yeah.
screw that. That
Those
was
hard
but
heads
anyway,
make you sick. They make you real sick. You know,
Damn.
sometimes.
So, what is some of your biggest? I mean, you showed us a picture, Leslie. What about you, B? What tells? Is there like a fish? It took you about an hour to reel in. I mean, like I don't know, just
like what's the
anything that.
Picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I went.
Tell us a fishing story.
I went fishing one time. I was in. This is kind of a funny story, but I was taking a deposition in Florida, and so I had a little rent car, and I'm going to this deposition. And I'm sitting at the bottom of the bridge, and this truck comes over the bridge and crashes into me. Okay, real bad. I mean, the airbags came out,
Dang.
sunglasses went everywhere. So, but I had to get somebody. So the wrecker truck, the car was totaled. They took me to the deposition, and then I went fishing the next day. And I went fishing with it. He's a psycho guy, okay. And the people would try to follow him. I was trying. We were tarpon fishing, and so I go out and we go through these. It's in the Keys of Florida. We go through grass, trees, you're ducking down. I go, this guy's crazy. Well, we get to where we are, and he jumped off the boat and said, and he's in the water. This is like a 7-year-old man. And he pops up and says, the Pololo worm. And he has this worm, and apparently it's like, I guess, eating the worm in tequila or something. Occasionally, once a year, twice a year, this worm hatches, and the tarpon eat it, makes them go crazy. So, long story less long, I'm sitting there, and every cast we're catching like 100-pound or 120-pound tarpon, and I'm reeling them in. I got 2 black eyes, and finally I said, I've got to go in. He said, are you freaking crazy? This is like the best tarpon day in the world. I said, I'm going in. I had a headache. It's 100 degrees. I've already caught like 10 of these things. I can't reel another one in.
That's a workout.
It was awful.
Probably had a concussion.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I had 2 black eyes. My sunglasses got knocked out of my glasses.
Yeah.
What about you, Derrik? You got a big fishing
Stop that.
story?
Well,
What's your PB? What's your personal best when it comes to bass?
13.9. Right here.
Wow.
No shit, 13.9.
13.9 right here in
Damn.
Palestine.
Wow.
That's
What'd
fantastic.
you catch it with?
A garage sale bought fishing pole with the worm that was still already on there.
No way.
Yeah,
You
listen,
must have.
Michael, you know how when you catch them and they tear your worm off?
Yes.
Well, I went to put another worm on, and when I tightened it, the line broke. That's how lucky that catch was. You know, the bigger ones, they'll fight for a second, and then they'll just kind of glide in till they get to the bank, and then they'll start fighting real hard again. I was lucky to get that one in.
Wow.
Like
Nice.
I said,
What'd you do with it?
tying the new worm back on there. When I tightened it, the line snapped.
What'd you do
What'd you
with
do?
it when you
Yeah.
got it in? Is it
I'm
like
sorry?
did you mount it or something? What'd you do to it?
No, I didn't mount it. Matter of fact, I give it to this girl that I was fishing with.
Oh.
Yeah, it was her grandfather's pond. Well, lake. It was her lake.
Oh.
Grandfather's here. Yes.
Was it long and or is it short and fat?
It wasn't too short and fat. It was pretty much long. It was a longer version.
Awesome.
What about you, Andrea?
Lisa, I'm not very computer savvy here. I sent you an email just a minute ago, and it is my personal best is 155-pound marlin, striped marlin, Cabo.
wow.
And then underneath it, I caught a 46-pound wahoo off the shore in Hawaii, Kauai, Hawaii. And so I just sent her a picture. I can email it to everybody, but I can't email it because I don't have everybody's email up here. And B, I apologize. I don't think I can email it all. So I will send it to y'all later, but those are my two best catches.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fun. If you Cabo and go fishing, I highly, highly recommend JC Sport Fishing. I've caught a marlin every single time I've gone out with them. They are amazing.
Wow, that's nice.
Nice. That's
Oh,
nice.
Thank you, Lisa.
Welcome. Hang on. I got two more.
And forgive me, I was still smoking when I did the fly fishing. The other one is of me fly fishing in the semi, but it's the only picture I had of me fly fishing. Yes, and my cigarette, but I don't smoke. I quit 13 years ago.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I'm fat, but I'm smoke free.
Stop.
I don't know how to do it.
Miss Leslie, what about you? I mean, besides that, lately, have you caught a big fish?
Yeah, I'd like to go more sea fishing and catch something and try to break Andrea's record there, but that's going to be hard to do.
Come see me,
But
come see me in Florida.
oh yes, I would love to. I've got a grandson fixing to be stationed at Cuba, so I want to go.
Wow.
He's
Come on.
in the military, so but I brought a picture. I did print mine out, like a 10-pound
Nice.
stopper.
That's nice.
But anyway, that's about the personal best there so far. I hadn't been able to. I catch them, but then I can't get them to the boat. They break the line. They snap the really big lines that we use. So they're monsters. I hope I can get a big one in there one of these days.
That's a great.
Man, it makes me, my little ones I guess they're like minnows compared to you guys fishes. I mean, my PB is about a little over 5 pounds. And my girlfriend, we have 4 ponds here, about 2 acres. And she caught that one out of our first pond. I could walk to it. And so it was a little over 6. And I always tell everybody she has my man card because I've caught probably 2,000 bass in the last 4 years. She doesn't fish often, but when she does, that's what she catches, the big ones. So
That's the fun of it, period.
Anyway, so I'm still trying to get that. I'm trying to get those at least a double digit. That's my goal, to get the double digit bass. So well, great. So I mean, B, obviously your fishing spot is Sabine Lake. Do you have any other area you like to fish?
I go to Sam Rayburn occasionally and bass fish, maybe once a year, maybe twice a year. That's about it. And then I fish ponds around here sometimes. We have really good bass ponds right around here.
Nice. Do you bank fish, or do you have a little other boat?
I've got a little boat that I use for the ponds. It's I think it's 14 foot. It's a little aluminum boat, and it just has
like a John
trolling
boat
motor on it. What?
Like a John boat?
Yeah. It's just a little boat with a trolling motor on the front. I use that sometimes whenever I go to the little bass pond around here.
Well, Derrik, what about you? I mean, I guess Palestine is your favorite spot, or do you have a special?
Yeah, mostly here in Palestine. I love going up to Lake Grosbeck. Got a little skiff I use with a trolling motor, fiddle it around with. Lake Palestine every once in a while. But Grosbeck's probably my best place.
Nice. Miss Andrea? Of course, Colorado, I guess, or Florida.
It depends. If it's freshwater, it'd be Colorado. If it's saltwater, it'd be Florida. Or I don't know. Florida or Belize is great. But the tarpon in Belize are like what you were talking about, B.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's amazing. Yeah. One of those.
Dang, you guys go all out. Shit.
Yeah.
Leslie, what about you?
Fish couple different lakes here in Texas and Oklahoma and just wherever we take a hankering to go and try it. That we go a lot to Miller Creek just because it's close and we can go, and we have a pontoon boat that we can go up in most places, and I don't know if you know it or not, but you can't sink a pontoon, but you can bob it and make it stand straight up and down. We found out
Ooh.
when we first got our boat, and I had my two grandsons. I had the one out of the military. He was in the Navy and he had been transferred to Wichita Falls for a little bit. And so we went and picked him up and got him out for a round, just to get out with family. And I thought we sank the boat. We had too much weight on the front, and one of us moved up to the front, and it stood straight up and
Oh,
down
geez.
and through. And I was like, oh my gosh, we just got the boat. And I was like, I didn't know. And so we
Kind of
all
like the
went flying
Titanic.
everywhere. Yes, it was very eye-opening, and people do it for fun, but I don't like to do that for fun because it's scary. I mean, it goes straight up and down.
You quickly
And you,
learned about weights and balances, didn't you?
yes.
Well,
So
as I mentioned earlier, I like to kayak fish, and 3 times I've fallen off my kayak. The first 2 times, when you fish a long time, sometimes Mother Nature calls, and these kayaks are sturdy enough to stand, but shit, I'm almost 60, and I lost my balance the 2 times, but luckily I was at the by the bank. So, and the third time I went to Fayette County. It's a reservoir, and they have a lot of dead trees sticking out of the water. So I guess when I was pedaling my kayak, it just took me and flipped me over, and I lost 2 poles and I lost my seat. And I was like, damn. So I want to buy a boat, but I don't know how to back up the damn trailers. That's what I'm afraid of. So I may get a kayak that has a
Come to Beaumont, we'll
Town
teach you how to
kayak.
back a trailer.
Yeah, I need to, because I also want to buy a Old Town. It's got to have the troller motor. So but that kayak weighs about 150. So the guy says, yeah, you can have to put on the trailer, just back it up like a boat. Because what's that, Nipkoda, or what's that real good troller motor? B? It's a really popular. But anyway,
mine's a Minn Kota. And then there's
Yeah,
a motor guide.
Yeah, it's got to make Kota trolley motor and the kayak, and it's got a cool feature. It's got a spot lock. You hit that damn thing and you're just locked in the water. So that's I'm guessing they're buying that, but
You guys
cool.
want to go fishing again? I've been for years. The last time I went fishing was off the coast of Isla Mujeres, and with a group of people that were probably too drunk to be fishing. And I made the declaration that not only was I going to catch the only fish, I was going to be the only girl to catch the biggest fish. And I did. I caught a huge barracuda. And
Wow.
these guys were like, let me help you. I'm like, no, this is my fish and I'm going to bring it in. I was sore for a week. Oh my gosh. But we had some deckhands on board. And so they took that barracuda and made the best ceviche I've ever had with some fresh bread and rum and cokes. It was a great day. And
how much did it weigh?
I don't remember, but it was big. It was big.
Yeah.
And those guys were so angry with me. They were so.
How long did it take you to reel it in?
Go, girl, go.
Lisa, how long did it take you to reel it in?
Oh God, a long time. I'm telling you, I was sore for over a week. I fought, but I had feet in the stirrups and I had it going on. And no one helped me. I brought that fish in, but then I had to deal with people sulking the rest of the day. And then the guys who were who prepared the ceviche, they were very obsessed over wanting to put suntan lotion on me. And so the whole damn day, they're like, Senora, putty lotion. I'm like, no, boyfriend, no like, no. Yeah,
Oh,
all
Lord.
day long. So that's my funny fish story. And I haven't been back.
Yeah, like
That's
20 years ago, I used to do a lot of offshore out of Galveston with a company I worked for. And B, you mentioned about a crazy captain. We had one of those out of Galveston, and he had a crazier deckhand or first mate, I guess. I don't know what you call him, but the captain ran over a long rope, a thick rope, and it just tangled in the back of the motor. And he told us, "Hey, you got to jump in. Here's a knife. You cut it." He goes, He wouldn't. So the captain had to jump in the seawater and cut that damn thing loose, man. That was a 35 foot boat, and it was raggedy. I mean, everything was breaking. So anyway, that was my experience of offshore fishing. Anyway, so guys, let's go talk about a little about Plainview stories. I was looking at the annual earlier today, and I was looking at the rodeo club, and I noticed that Andrea and Leslie were on the rodeo club, and Miss Leslie was the queen our
Yes, she
senior
was.
year.
Yes, she was.
And is that like the Bar None Rodeo queen?
Mhm.
Yes.
Wow.
So it was, tri-state high school rodeo back in our day. And so, yeah, I had to try out and do a bunch of things to be the queen, but yeah, I had to perform. And so, yeah, that's a good bit ago.
What did y'all do at the rodeo club?
So what did you do?
I'm sorry, Andy.
Some of us showed horses, and I mean, we just got together and shared our love of the animals. And I mean, some of them actually did perform in rodeos, and others didn't, they didn't have the opportunity, but they loved, the rodeo scene, and we just got together.
Okay.
Did you guys participate in the rodeo? What about you, Andrea? Like barrel racing? Or did you guys do any of that?
You're going to be surprised. Everybody always guesses barrel racing with a girl, but Jimmy Don Tyler and I were team ropers. I was a header, and he. Yeah, who knew?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you continue that once high school was over with?
No, not at all. That costs way too much money. That is a person's game.
Yeah. I barrel
Wouldn't you-
raced, and then
Oh, wow. So that's
yeah, I barrel raced just in high school, and then I got out and raised kids and was a mom forever. And my husband was over cutting horses, and so I started showing cutting horses in my 40s, mid 40s, and then went into the world national cutting horse scene and did well. So my husband was a good teacher and
Nice.
raised good horses. So yeah, but I
That's
don't do
awesome.
that anymore. Yeah, I mean, it's been great, but we get older and I slow down. So I'd rather go fishing right now.
I know, right? All right, we're definitely gonna go. We need to go to Palestine and meet and go fish at Derrick's little pond.
Hey,
Right?
hey,
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
To get
You know, would be
together.
cool. That will be another show. Is getting you rodeo people like TJ McCarty, Lee Mix. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
But I think it'll be a lot of fun to have you guys talk about the day back in the days when I did rodeo. And of course, we had the biggest rodeo here in the world, the Houston Livestock Rodeo, and I think it's going on right now. So, but anyway, B, you were Mr. Football.
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
You played with Mo, of course. I said, you were a football player and
Yeah,
baseball. We played
little bit,
baseball together.
sometimes.
So what you think about what you think about that photo we took at the 40 reunion? That was pretty cool, huh?
Incredible, wasn't it?
Well,
Hey,
our
did you
senior
do
picture.
that? Did you find that?
Yeah, I mean, I've got the photo. I have it somewhere in a box.
But it was your
I'm
idea.
like, you know what? We got to do this. Yes. I mean, we got to do this. It's like we're all alive.
That was awesome. Awesome picture.
So,
I-
yeah.
It's my screensaver on my phone.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, but I realized my arm was hanging the wrong way or something. I don't remember. Everybody else
That's
was
okay.
perfect, and my arm was messed up.
Oh, it was still great.
You know, the last piece was Brian Harrington. He wasn't even coming, and I called Jimmy Boddicker, and he knew where he worked. So I called Brian Harrington at his work like a couple of weeks before the reunion. I said, Brian, I need you to show up Saturday. I need you to show up because I want to retake the photo we did 40 years ago. And he showed up. I love that picture.
Yeah, I do too. It's incredible. It's incredible you think about that. I mean, really.
You didn't play football, did you, at Tech? You just went to school and
Yeah.
like Mo?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, you and Scott, oh, geez, forgot his last name. I'm sorry. We just, Coleman. No, yeah, Scott. No, Bockham, Scott Bockham. And, of course, oh, shit. See what happens when you get old, you forget names. Who's Broussard? Even he didn't graduate with us. I think you guys are the only 3 attorneys in our class.
Yeah. He's
That I know
he's an
of.
attorney over in Richmond. I got a weird
Mhm.
call one day. I hadn't heard from him, and I mean, golly, I mean, didn't he leave when we were like in 6th grade or something? Anyway, I get a call. I get a call one time, and he said, "Hey, I got a case to refer you." I said, I couldn't even remember him. And then when I saw him, I finally remembered him, and I've kind of kept up with him since then.
I was like, he's like, who the hell is this?
I know. I get a phone call. They said some guy that went to school with you, has a case he wants to refer you. I said, well, who? I looked and I finally figured it out. I think I called my mother, and I said, hey, Mother, do you remember? Yeah, he used to live. I said, oh, okay, and then it snapped, and so then I called him back. But I've kept up with him since. I talked to him, once, twice a year.
Yeah,
I think he retired. I think he told me he retired at the reunion.
Really?
Yeah, he sold his practice. And he's got some lingering cases that he still handles, and occasionally he'll handle one.
Yeah, I think he did divorces. If I think that's what he did.
Yeah, he was family law. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he told me he tried injury. He says, but man, you got to have a lot of backing to get started. If you don't work for a firm, if you try to go on your own, it's really hard. So
yeah,
that's why I think he maybe referred you. And then Mr. DeBerry, you and the party wagon. That was a classic vehicle. Rest in peace, Blake Morris.
Yes.
I talked to Mr. Boddicker today. I said I would love to do a tribute to Blake and have you and Alex and Danny Perez doing another show like this. But yeah, you guys, you had a lot of fun. We all had fun in high school.
Oh yeah, absolutely. R.I.P. Blake Moore.
I'm sorry, Derrik.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Go, Derrik. I was just go ahead.
What was it, Michael?
No, go ahead. I'm listening to you.
I was asking.
yeah.
I didn't know, when did Blake Morris pass?
probably
20
20
years
years
ago?
ago, maybe.
Yeah,
20.
he was at our
2001 or 2003, somewhere around there. I'm thinking.
Not know that.
Yeah, he was at our 10-year reunion. I mean, that's the last time I saw him was at our 10-year. So
Yeah, a lot of good times in that wagon. Yeah. First ski trip, we went shovel enough snow out of people's driveway for all of us to get that ski trip. And we hadn't even graduated yet. So it was a lot of fun.
Oh, I was meant to. Did you guys ever go to Silver Lake? Is that the name of the lake? You know, they had the beach. We would go in the summer and hang out. Was it Lake? No, Silverton.
Silverton,
Right?
Mackenzie,
No, not
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie,
There's
Yeah.
Mackenzie.
The one with the cliffs. The
Yeah.
cliffs.
Mackenzie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any of you guys fish out of that lake?
No,
My
I
dad-
cliff dived.
Anybody fish out of that lake?
You?
Oh hell.
No.
Michael, my dad fished out of there a lot. People would ask him where he caught that big fish, and he'd catch it up there in the creek, but he would tell them he caught them over there by the dam. Caught them on goldfish,
Of course
and he
he
would
would.
tell 'em- caught them on goldfish, which is illegal now also because it produces carp. But he'd catch them on goldfish and tell them he caught them on perch.
I'll tell you guys a story. Me and Andrew, Susan Hansard, and I forgot who the fourth was. Well, we took Susan's dad's boat to Lake McKenzie. And her dad was, I forgot his name, but he was a DPS, I think, or a sheriff. You guys
Bobby
remember
Martin.
Susan Hansard?
Bobby
Yeah.
Martin.
Yeah.
Bobby
He
Martin.
came, we're about to back, we had Andrew Dunlap backed it up. He came out of nowhere. Whoa. He forgot the put the plug in.
Oh,
So if
yeah.
he wouldn't have caught us, we would have sunk that damn boat.
Oh,
I was
Man,
like, whoo. I'm pretty sure he drove past the speed limit, but that
wow.
was a funny story back then. But anyway, so guys, and Lisa, do you have any more questions?
No, I'm just super thrilled that y'all agreed to do this with us. I didn't get to visit with everybody at the reunion, and so this is just extra special to see your faces on the screen. It just brings me so much joy, and I'm just elated that you agreed to participate and to join in, and maybe we can plan a deep sea fishing trip or something.
Yes.
Well, you're
Come to Beaumont. We'll go fishing. Whenever y'all want to come. Michael was
That'd be
supposed
great.
to come, but he backed out.
No, I forget when it come October, I forgot. I was bass fishing, but no, I'm gonna take you up on it. We'll be we're going to New York this weekend for a few days, but it's getting nice. So I may come up. We may come
Yeah.
up there in April.
About May.
So and then we have a
1st of May would be perfect.
okay.
okay.
We're going to have a gathering here in Dallas sometime in April. We'll send out, so we'll post it on our PHS Facebook page. But it's just another
Okay.
little, get together for whoever wants to come and just, have some drinks or break bread and catch up. And so
I don't have a Facebook. Somebody needs to text me.
Does your wife?
hey,
I don't have a
Does-
Facebook at all, and I'm not going to get one either.
What about your wife? Does she have one?
Oh, hell no. No.
Well, the reason I was asking, some of the guys have their wives. They joined our page, and they're like you. They don't want a Facebook.
Man, if I had a Facebook, I'd have clients text me crazy shit all night. I'm sorry, but
no, it's okay.
no
It's okay.
telling, and they'd be calling me on Facebook or whatever they do all the time. So I'll never do that. Any of those things, I'm not going to do.
I don't blame you, B. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Life too
Yeah.
short.
I do want to share one story that'll probably make y'all
I'll
laugh.
definitely text you.
I want to hear this, Leslie.
Okay. So when we lived on the ranch, I had my 3 older grandsons, and they were like 8 years old and 5 and 4. And so I took them fishing. There was a river running through the ranch. And so I thought, well, I'll take them fishing today, and we could fish off the bridge. And so we got there, and I said, well, we're going to catch grasshoppers, because they had a ton of grasshoppers everywhere that year. And so I ran over and I grabbed this big jumbo grasshopper, and it turns around and catches me in my skin, between your thumb and your index finger, and it was like a beak. It was biting me and I was bleeding, and I was running around screaming, trying to sling it off my hand. And my grandkids were like, "No, we don't want to catch grasshoppers to fish with." They were picking them off the grill. I traumatized my grandkids.
Dang.
I didn't know grasshoppers would bite. I never had one bite.
Yes.
I tell you
Yes.
what, they are some big ones. They
Yes.
are.
They have beaks and they will chew wood off the houses, but yeah, it bit me in that tender part, and it wouldn't let go, and I was screaming and running around slinging it, and I had blood. I did have blood.
Wow.
I saw one up there in Lake Palestine had a work vest on.
You should catch them and eat them. They're actually really tasty.
Oh,
What?
Grasshoppers,
Huh?
they are super high in protein and they are absolutely delicious. And they taste really good with guacamole and hot sauce and chips.
I
And
see the people on that show like they're dropped in Alaska or something, or dropped in the Sahara Desert to eat those
Well,
grasshoppers. I wouldn't choose to eat
that's-
one.
yeah.
I'm telling you, they are.
That's different because
Do
you're
you grill 'em or
surviving, but
something?
Lisa,
Yeah.
how do you prepare them?
You can grill them, you can roast them. They taste really good roasted with just salt or any kind of seasoning, and they're crunchy. They're phenomenal. I had my lion's share of them in Oaxaca in October, and I thought there's a bowl of grasshopper at this woman's house that we were eating at, and they said they're a grasshopper. I'm like, well, I'm here. I'm gonna try it. Half the bowl, everybody's looking at me like, oh my God, you're really eating it. It was so good with the little cactus salad and
Wow.
What do
guacamole.
they taste like?
What does it
It's
taste?
like chips at a Mexican food restaurant. They pass you dip them or something.
Salty. They're salty and savory, and with just a tiny little hint of sweetness. They're really good. Of course, I was drinking mezcal, so maybe the mezcal made it taste good.
What's it? You eat the whole body?
There's the key
Do
right
they
there.
cut? Do you eat the whole body, Lisa? Or?
Grasshopper, the whole grasshopper. It's whole.
Oh Lord! No way.
We get together. I'll bring some grasshoppers for y'all to snack on when we're on the boat.
Oh, I can't wait.
Bring the tequila.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring the. I'll just use mine for bait.
Yeah.
There's no.
Good idea.
But guys, hey, appreciate it. We definitely want you guys on the show again. More of like I reached out to you. I'd like to do a baseball one and a football one. So I may need your most help with Myron and Russ and maybe Tim.
Okay.
Tim Coleman, like to have them on, and Leslie and Andrea. Seriously, I want to do the rodeo. Hey, guys, and we don't have to do our class. I mean, I think I saw Dibs Fulton on there. Sean Hunter, he'll be funny. Jeanette, Dibs Fulton. I'm thinking Gil Cork. So, and then DeBerry, I've got 2 shows I would do with you. Of course, the Wagoneer and also the bicycle and motorcycle. Love to do one of those. So, guys, we want to see you more. I mean,
Yeah.
Lisa and I can do this for a very long time. That's our goal. I mean, I trademark the name and also the logo. Well, it's pending. So we're doing this for a very long time, right, Lisa?
Yep. And stay tuned because we're going to do a live one from Andrew's wedding in New Mexico in May.
Wow.
And then also stay tuned because our next show is going to be really unique and special. We have some classmates coming on who are cancer survivors.
Oh, wow.
So they're going to come on and share their stories. I'm one of those classmates, and we're going to try to bring some levity to some of the hardships that we went through.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Look forward to that.
And then don't wait for us to reach out to you guys. I mean, if you have a group of people you want to do this and have a little mini reunion, talk about, go back, let's go for it.
$100 $100 to anybody that can.
Wait a minute. Guys really enjoyed it. Oh. What?
I said $100.
Oh.
Anyone who can decipher what you just said.
Oh, really? Was
right.
that breaking up? Was that breaking up? Well, hey, the goat knuckle. How many of you guys used the goat knuckle? I know Derrik, DeBerry, you used it. I know.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we were trying to remember when that started and who started it. Because I remember definitely in 8th grade that we used that. I don't remember in Coronado, but does anybody know where that started?
I don't.
Well, as I
No.
mentioned, Blake Barton said maybe Urban Davis, and then I talked to Scott Broussard this past week, and even he said he thought Urban Davis may coin the phrase. He may have, so who knows?
I know one thing, it was so catchy. I don't know if you guys seen the Facebook post, but my dad came out one day and my dad and brother and everybody was talking. My dad said, "That's a galloping goat."
Oh,
Have fun with that.
yeah.
So Michael, we can curse on this show, right? And we can tell some.
Yes, of course. I mean, we're adults. As long as you're not cussing at someone. I mean, you can fucking say fuck. I don't care. We're adults. We're almost 6 years old.
My husband did not. He grew up partially in Texas, but he graduated high school in the Azores, which is part of Portugal. And so, when Michael was coming up with the name, we were tossing it back, and he saw the logo. He's like, "Goat knuckle, that's camel toes," because in his high school, that was camel toes.
I didn't say anything. I was biting my tongue, so.
Anyway, I'm like, okay, well, I had to share his funny with y'all.
That's great.
Well, guys, loved it. Peace and love.
Yes.
Peace and love. Enjoyed y'all, and look
Enjoyed it.
forward to having you guys again. So,
Good seeing y'all.
Absolutely.
have a good evening, and I'll be there in May. I'll give you a text. I'll text you, and then you too, Derrik. I'll be up there sometime in the summer.
Looking
hang out
forward to it.
Out with you
Looking
one
forward.
night and do some fishing.
Yeah, if y'all want to come fishing, y'all are around
Absolutely.
here, just call me. I'll take you.
I want to go fishing.
How
Aw.
many people can fit in your boat, B? How many people
Anybody
can fit in your boat?
We can probably fish with, it depends on where we're going. We can fish 4, maybe 5. It's 28 foot.
Okay.
Nice.
See, one of my dear friends lives in Beaumont, so when I go see her, I'm going to call you and let's have
Who does?
coffee or a cocktail.
Wait. What's her name? I'm sorry.
Oh, actually, you might know her. She's an attorney, Jessica Depew.
Jessica Depew from Beaumont?
Yeah.
What does she do? What kind of law?
I think family law.
How old is she?
She's probably close to 10 years younger than us.
Okay.
That's her
Sorry.
name right now, Jessica Depew?
Yep.
And she lives in Beaumont.
And she lives in Beaumont.
Crap. I have no idea. I thought I knew all the lawyers in Beaumont.
She practiced law, then she left to raise kids, and now they're old enough, and she's gone back to practicing law. I think she's just doing it part-time.
Really? Maybe so. What firm? Or she's just
I
by
don't know.
herself?
I'll ask her. I will ask her, but I'm planning to come see her, so I'll give you a shot.
Well, if you come see her, you better call me.
Of course, that's what I said. Coffee or a cocktail, or both.
Every time I drive through Beaumont B, I always look at the billboards to see if you have any advertising on the billboards. But
You're not
I've
going
not
to see me
seen one yet.
advertise. If you see me on a billboard, you can put a bullet in my head. So I haven't had to do that. I haven't had to do that yet, but not that I won't, but I'll retire before that happens. And you're driving through Beaumont, not calling me? That pisses me off.
Well, I just got your phone number recently at the reunion.
Well, shit. It's do you know how to Google?
Yeah, but
I've had the same phone number.
Driving
Okay.
through.
I've had the same
But
offer.
I promise you,
same office, same phone number, same house for 31 years. You can find me, okay?
You're in deep doo-doo, Michael.
That's a little scary there, B. I know, right?
Nothing ever changes, I guess.
All right, guys. Again, thank you. Everyone have a good evening. And well, hopefully I'll be posting or publishing this tomorrow. So
Okay,
I'll be
thank y'all for
be taking
letting
a
me
lot of
come
pictures
on. I
from New York.
appreciate it.
So
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. We
oh,
enjoyed it.
absolutely. Be. Good night.
Enjoy it. Looking forward, Flo. Y'all be careful. Peace.
Bye, y'all.
Absolutely.
See y'all.
Bye, Miss Leslie. So what'd you think?
Another great show.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I just loved hearing everybody's stories. And of course, you know, B always brings an extra layer of color to his stories that I thoroughly enjoy. But I'm just so thrilled that they agreed to come on, and it I had my little notes here. Everybody can see my little note card. Everybody's names and what they were involved in high school. So it looks like you and I did the same research.
Absolutely.
Yes, this is so fun, Michael. I'm so glad that we're doing this.
I enjoyed as well, and I'm working on I found an app where you could do live streaming through YouTube, and it also can do it through Facebook. But I'm trying to figure out how to tie it into our class page. So you and I'm probably gonna next week or a couple of weeks, I'm gonna send you a link so we can do a live streaming through YouTube.
Okay,
And do
those classmates that are
beta
watching this,
tests, so.
yeah, and so we're still recording. So classmates, when you see the end of this video and you hear Michael say this, if you are tech savvy and you can help us out with that, reach out to Michael.
Yes, the app is Streams Lab. It's a very popular mobile app and desktop app. I just figured today how to have how to add people from the phone. So definitely would love to test it, and people can chat.
Right.
They can so it'll be a live show. They can chat in. They can't call in, but they can do chat. So, but anyway, Lisa, another great show.
Yeah, one more shout out.
Looking forward to next week.
Yeah, so here's another shout out to our classmates. Those of you that are living in Plainview, if you know anybody that is a local business owner in Plainview that would like to either sponsor us or that would like to offer a discount to our classmates by us mentioning their name on our podcast, you know, reach out to us, or, you know, let that business know to reach out to us so that we can continue to support our hometown businesses.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
All right, Miss
Good
Lisa.
night.
As always.
Hey, love you, brother.
Peace and love. Peace, love. Good night. Love you.